worked together before. She's terribly funny, performs all over, and she's due in 2 weeks. Clap your hands, everyone, for Marlena Shibo. Marlena Shibo, everybody. Marlena Shibo.
I'm sure you do love your job, Ray. You work in Aruba. Hello, everybody. Does this outfit make me look pregnant? I'm so uncomfortable, so I'm going to make this fast because clearly I do not have a lot of time. You two are married, right? Yeah. You two are married? Yeah. We are. Don't be scared, I'm not going to come off the stage and bite you. That's a lie. Yeah, I'm married too. My husband's Jewish. I'm not. I'm the one Italian that was clapping in the background when Matt asked who's Italian. I'm like, just me, just me. So what that means, me being Italian and my husband being Jewish, means at our wedding he broke the glass, and I've been breaking his balls ever since. Everybody in this room that knows me knows that's 100% true. It's weird, though, to think that I'm married for this long, 5 years, and I'm pregnant because my husband still feels like my boyfriend or my friend with benefits, health benefits. I break his balls all the time. Like, you know, if he does something in my dreams that, like, piss me off, I actually, like, wake up pissed off at him. And he's gotten used to it now because it happens about once a week, you know. He'll just be like, good morning. I'm like, fuck off, you know. And so he's like, Marlena, you know, I can't be responsible for what I do in your dreams. You know, it's just all in your head. I'm like, oh, it's all in my head now, is it? Then a real fight ensues. He thinks I'm a little crazy. But he's wrong. I'm a lot crazy. Oh, God. Being pregnant is the worst. It really is. And anybody who tells you it is fucking crazier than I am. This is my second. I have a daughter at home. She's 3 years old. Her name is Rebel. And that gets a lot of mixed reactions. I heard no one say, not even like a pin drop. A pin could drop in here. Her name is Rebel, but the dumbest thing anyone ever said to me about her name is Red Bull. Are you saying Red Bull? Yeah, I named her Red Bull. We thought about naming her 5 Hour Energy, but you know, Red Bull sounded better. People are stupid. So I don't really fit in with other moms. I was on the playground. You teach 2-year-olds, right? Okay, tell me if this makes any sense to you whatsoever. Okay, so I'm on the playground, and my daughter's in the sandbox, and she's like, you know, trying to get this kid's shovel, and he won't give it to her. He's 2 years old, and his mother's looking at him, and she's like, Zealand, make good choices. Make good choices, Zealand.
Oh my God. Really?
Really. And I'm thinking to myself, this kid shits in his pants. What the fuck does he know about good choices? I sometimes don't make good choices myself as a mother. I keep forgetting not to curse in front of my 3-year-old. And not too long ago, she dropped something on the floor, and all I hear is, oh shit. And I just looked at her and I went, fuck! Yeah. Yeah, I actually, my daughter's in Montessori school, and I ran into one of her classmates' moms in the grocery store. And, you know, we had some small talk, and then she's like, so how's Rebel doing, you know? I'm like, fine. She's like, do you think there's enough joy in the classroom? And I'm like, who the fuck is Joy? And then I realized what she was trying to do, and I was like, oh no, this bitch is not going all eat, pray, love on me in the fucking produce aisle. Like, I was like, I just want to get some baby carrots, maybe some artichoke dip. Who has time to talk about joy or finding joy besides Tony Robbins, you know? But I actually blame myself because clearly I'm giving off a vibe that says I'm approachable. And I'm not. You know, her teachers absolutely hate me, and the feeling's mutual. You know, I'm gonna direct this at you again. I don't know what's going on. I mean, look, you know, I don't know why her teacher, her lead teacher, can't just say to me, Rebel's a little hyper, she's a little hard to handle sometimes. Instead, it's, Rebel has a hard time self-regulating in varying environments. Do you have any tips for us? And I'm like, tips for you? You're the education guru, you know? So I'm like, I have a tip, If, she's giving you a hard time and if you want to complain about my daughter, I will happily set up an in-person meeting and kick you in the vagina. She called me in the middle of the day, this teacher. In the middle of the day, I was working, and she, just to tell me that Rebel was throwing sticks in the playground. Now, when I get a call, do we have any other parents in this room whatsoever? Okay. Did the school ever call? Doesn't that give you a little bit of a heart? The school never called you? Oh, wow, you have an angel. Okay, that's great. What, the school, when you call parents, don't you say, everything's okay, but, whatever, Joey, it's probably not Joey, it's probably like Arrow, right, jumped off the top of the sled or whatever, the sled, oh my God, the slide, yeah, something happened, okay, well, she calls me and she's like, can I talk to you for a minute? And I'm just like my brain is just going, right? I'm just like, oh my God, the school's on fire. ISIS, I don't know, something's happening, right? So she tells me she's throwing sticks in the playground. And she's like, and we had a talk with her, and we said, you really can't do that because those sticks could hit another child and that child could get hurt. And I was like, okay. And she goes, if you could just, have this conversation and mirror, that message to her when she gets home tonight. Like as if she's gonna drive home later. I'm like, yeah, when I pick her up and take her home, yeah, okay. So I did. I said, Rebel, were you throwing sticks in the playground? Okay, well, when you go to the playground, don't throw sticks at other students. Throw them at your teachers. I guess you can see why they probably don't like me very much. When I was, before I had kids, I was terrified. I was terrified of having kids because my day job is, I'm a producer and a television producer. I worked in news media for a long time, and we used to get a lot of crazy stories, a lot of crimes against kids, and we used to get these crazy stories about parents running over their own kids, backing over their own kids with their cars because they would have SUVs and they couldn't see them, and and that's horrifying, I can't imagine the damage a toddler would do to the undercarriage of my car. Yeah. I don't think insurance covers that. Being pregnant and then not being pregnant, it's like you're fat, you're thin, you're fat, you're fat. I'm at that point. And I'm thinking, God, now I know how Oprah feels. People, I don't understand women who say they love being pregnant. In my mind, I'm just like, did fitting into your clothes just get way too monotonous for you? And they make really weird clothes for pregnant women. They still haven't really nailed the maternity style, in my opinion. I saw maternity Spanx. Think about that. Everyone in this room knows what Spanx are supposed to do, right? Okay, tell me what maternity Spanx are supposed to do. What marketing genius and what person buys them, like this is me pregnant, right? This is me in maternity Spanx. Do I look any better? Am I fooling anyone? That is like the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Almost more ridiculous, or just as ridiculous as the time I went to get my nails done, and the woman looked at me and said, "Stomach?" And I was like, "Yeah." I'm like 8 months pregnant, and she's like, "Oh, baby?" I'm like, wait a second. I was like, wait a minute. What did you mean when you said stomach? She's like, well, I really don't like to ask people if they're pregnant because if they're not, they get really offended. I'm like, so your game plan is just to ask them if they have a fat stomach? Okay. This is my swan song. I am not having any more kids after this. I want my tubes tied. And I told my doctor this. And she goes, okay, good. All right, that's fine. Do you want the whole tube out or just partial? I'm like, there's a menu? I was like, I don't give a shit. You can like do origami in there. I just make it stop happening. Like it's done. I don't understand the choices. Nobody says crazier stuff than my mother, though. She has a lot of funny things to say. I was on the phone with her. I was very, very tired, and I was like, I'm so tired. And she goes, well, Marlena, that's because you're old and pregnant. And I was like, thanks. She goes, well, you're not old, you're young, but you're just not a young pregnant person. I'm like, that's no better. This is the same woman that when I was driving and got cut off and gave someone the finger, and that person happened to be a cop who pulled me over and gave me 3 tickets. When I called her to complain about it, she told me, well, it serves you right, because you really shouldn't go around fingering people. And when I told her she shouldn't say that, she said, no, I'm serious. You can't just go around fingering whoever you want to. It's going to get you in trouble. And the crazy part is, she's right. I was home for the holidays, and she baked a blueberry pie, and there was a hair in it. And she was, oh, Christ, now I gotta throw the whole thing out. No one wants to eat hair pie. I was like, you can't say that either. And she's like, what's hair pie? What's hair pie? I can't keep up. I can't keep up with what you millenniums are saying. I'm like, okay, the word is millennial, and I'm not one. I'm the old pregnant person. Yeah, that's my mom. There's more. So my mom comes up to New York. She hates coming here, but she's the only person. Most people love coming to New York, but don't actually love getting here. They just love it when they get here. My mom actually hates actually being in the city, but will take a bus to get here and is fine with it. I don't want her on the bus. I think there's sketchy people on the bus. So anyway, one of these times she comes up, she gets to my apartment and she opens up her handbag and she takes out a tinfoil and there's flounder in it. And I'm like, you took fish on the bus? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, you probably smelled like fish. She's like, no, I didn't. I'm like, how do you know? She's like, because I asked the guy next to me, do you smell fish? And he said no. And she goes, oh, good, because I have fish in my bag. She's the freak on the bus. mother has an obsession with food. If she knows I'm coming home to visit for the weekend, on that Monday she asks me what I think I'm going to want to eat on that Friday. I'll get a phone call. She'll be like, yeah, I was just thinking, what do you think you're going to want to eat? I was thinking about making chicken cutlets. And although I have that whole thing of soup in the freezer that I can defrost, but I don't know. What do you want? I don't know. I mean, if you want the soup, I could always heat it up, and whatever you don't eat, you could take home. Notice I haven't said a word. And I'm scared to talk because you think if you just choose one, you're ending the conversation, and you're you make a choice, and that's where you go. It's like if I say, "All right, I'll have the chicken cutlets." All that soup. I made too much. Who's gonna eat it? Then I'll eat the soup. I'm fine with the soup. I'll eat the soup. I already bought the chicken. I don't know what to do anymore. It's a conversation. It's just a labyrinth of main courses. Yeah. Who needs Sudoku when you've got brain teasers like that? So my mother also is, she's really not very technologically savvy. Anybody else have this problem?
Oh my God, yeah.
Right? Can you show me something? Is that like a question you get a lot? Can I just show me something? And then the next time you see this parent, it's, can you show me something? Is the same something? It's always the same something. My mom writes it down. My mom actually writes it down. She's like, oh, I'm gonna write this down. Okay, go slow. I'm like, push the home button. Which one's that? The only button on the phone. Okay. Go to your settings. Which one's that? That gray box. Oh, it's painful. Anyway, she goes through the whole thing. Next time I come home, I'm like, where are the instructions? I don't know, I wrote it down, I don't know where I put it. And then she puts in her notes in the phone, and then can't retrieve the notes in the phone. Okay, you get the point. So, you know how when you have to update your iOS, iPhone people in here, yeah?
Yeah.
You have to update. And it'll bug you until you do. She's like, oh, I can't stand this thing. And she's like hitting it, like cancel. And I'm like, let me just deal with it. So I update her phone. The next day she tells me she wants to go to the Apple store because she wants it changed back. Why? Because ever since you upgraded my phone, I don't even think she used the word upgraded, but that's what I did. Ever since I upgraded her phone, she said her text messages weren't sending. I said, okay, what are you gonna tell the guy at the Apple store when you go in there? I'm dying to know. And she's like, well, I'm just gonna say, ever since my phone went through the change, I can't get my messages. Like, your phone didn't go through menopause. She's right there. She's still trying to figure out what hair pie is. I, on the other hand, am too obsessed with my phone. I'm always on my phone. I can't put it down, ever. And it's like, it's funny, they're called smartphones, but it's like making me stupid, like, so I'll just like be on the phone and, I'll just be like, actually I was on the phone, I should say, with my friend Sarah, and I start rifling through my purse like a psycho. I'm like, oh my God, Sarah, I can't find my phone, I can't find my phone. And she's like, and she is like, oh my God, but where'd you go today? I'm like, I went to the gym, I went to Starbucks, I don't know, like, I have to retrace all my steps. And the moral of that story is, I need smarter friends. All right, well, that is all for me, folks. I would like to bring up my dear friend Katie, who is also massively pregnant. Where are you, Katie? Katie? Hello, Catherine. That's her real name. It's not even Catherine, it's Catherine. Katie and I have known each other since 2004. I can't do the math. No, 2003. You know my mother's cell phone drama, right?
Yeah. We used to have to check her voicemail for her from a landline.
This is back when it was a flip phone. And like she would be like on the phone with my mom, and then I would be on my other phone checking her voicemail. I'd be like, Joanne called. Oh yeah. She was stopping by, Joanne stopped by ShopRite. There's a 2-for-1 sale, like whatever. It just goes on and
Well, I
on.
will say, at Marlena's wedding, it was very disappointing. There were no chicken cutlets. I was under the impression there would be. It's a very nice wedding.
Katie, I have to say, I have this up here. I dug up, I was cleaning some stuff out, and don't ask me why I have this, but here is a birthday card you gave me from back in the day. And I would just like to share the sentiments on the inside. That just explains our bizarre friendship. So, and I just want to know one thing. It says, I can't give you your present till Tuesday, which will make sense on Tuesday. So for now, sit tight, okay, fun bags? What were you giving me on Tuesday?
Maybe.
We were coworkers. You can't say fun bags to coworkers anymore.
No.
That kind of dialogue would not fly, would it? All right. Well, Katie, I'm going to leave the rest to you.
Okay.
And I'm going to leave the microphone. You think you can handle? Everyone give it up for Marlena.
Thank you. She was gonna leave it on the floor. And I was like, you can't bend down. I can't bend down. Just don't do it.